The meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. Votak?
Here.
Mrs. Huddleston?
Here.
Mr. Duca?
Here.
Mr. Henderson?
Here.
Mrs. Merritt?
Here. Approval of the minutes.
Motion. Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Duca?
Yes.
Mr. Votak?
Yes.
Mrs. Huddleston?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Mrs. Merritt?
Yes. Treasurer's report.
Okay. For this meeting, we have the financial recap of the previous month, that's as attached. Donations received in memory of Paul Rance for the Rance Family Scholarship Fund, $50 from Ina Dutcher, $50 from the family of Carl Dodson, $50 from Susan Hurdle, $100 from David and Luann Whiskey, $50 from Deborah and Tom Hines, $50 from Paul and Marlene Early, $50 from Diane Pierce, $25 from Barbara Smith, class of 56, $200 from Mark and Colleen DeTilio, Melanie Stouts and Walter Rohr, $100 from Ann and Bob Dickman, $50 from Donna Buffone, $100 from the Columbiana Restoration and Beautification Trustees, $100 from Charles and Patricia Troll, $100 from Robert and Joanne Ashton, $100 from John and Ellen Reddick, $200 from the Columbiana Rotary Club, and $50 from Marilyn and Samuel Camp. We also have two donations, $100 from Dave Hozak for cafeteria, and $100 from Wyatt and Stephanie Bate for the Art Club Fund. Two financial items to approve, supplemental budgets for the 23-24 school year, boys basketball and girls basketball.
I'll make a motion.
Second. Discussion.
Jen, on the recap, the financial report on page 2, where you do the recap,
Mm-hmm.
and the general fund, it shows that we were 63,000 over.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you look at the total, all funds were negative 418. But
Yes.
for deficit spending, would the general fund be basically where I want to
Yes.
concentrate on?
Yes, the main reason that overall we're deficit spending is because about 300,000 of that is ESSER funds that I'm waiting on money
Okay.
from the
That's
state.
what I thought.
But
Okay.
and most of
The
that
general fund is
is
where I want to
grants.
concentrate.
Yes,
Okay.
the general fund is where you want to look, for sure.
And then on the two budgets, I noticed there's no fundraising,
Correct.
which is a good thing.
Yes.
But the other thing that I would like to emphasize is, like, there's 3,500, I think, in one of the basketball accounts.
Mhm.
The kids that raised that may not have got to take advantage of that. I think our guidelines say there shouldn't be more than 300 left at the end of,
Correct.
because so the kids that raised it could spend it.
Mhm.
So I would just like to make sure we kind of kept that in mind. I know
Yeah.
that's not necessarily you.
And Jeff and I had a discussion about this. The boosters are going to be doing most of the fundraising now. So that is why when you see on the budget that they're spending it down to
They're going
zero,
down to zero.
because the
Yeah.
boosters are gonna take a bigger role in the
Okay.
fundraising now.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Roll call.
Mr. Duca?
Yes.
Mrs. Allison?
Yes.
Mr. Votak?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Mrs. Merritt?
Yes. Public participation. None at this time.
Yeah, there was a name on there.
Oh, there is. I'm sorry. Oh, I apologize.
All right, for those of you that don't know, I'm Corey Creamer. I want to thank the board for giving me this opportunity. I want to thank Mr. Dunham. I'm just going to give you a quick update on girls basketball. My wife is the new head coach, Abby Minnemeyer, for this season. So things are going really well off the start. We're anticipating about 12 girls for this season. I know we're a small district, so it's kind of hard to get numbers up. And it's kind of hard to get a lot of interest when you don't win super often. So we're happy that we're getting 12 girls for the high school level. As far as this summer, We did open gyms twice a week. Girls were very receptive. We had a large turnout of not only the high school girls, but the junior high girls, which is really where you start to build your program in the younger groups, get them interested, get them excited. We took them to a summer camp. It was just for one day. They were really excited about it. We went to a college. They participated with college coaches there that kind of were like scouting players, as well as Division II and Division III players that were showing them through different drills and working on their skills, which like I never thought they would get so excited, but they loved every second of it. And the younger kids that are juniors and lower were like, can we go back next year? That was awesome. And it was on a Sunday in the middle of summer, so they must have really liked it. But it was exciting to get that enthusiasm, because that's one thing that we need to help build this program as we take it hopefully to better level. Last thing I wanted to say as far as this, on December 21st, we're playing at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse where the Cavs play. We're playing Heartland Christian, and I think at 2:30?
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, and then the Heartland Christian boys will play, and after that, the Cavaliers will play. So we've started fundraising like crazy to try to alleviate any cost for the girls, so we're ramping that up in full swing. They're really excited. We want to invite you guys. You're more than welcome. We'd love to have community support there, and not just playing in front of, a couple random people. So I had two other really quick things I wanted to mention. The first one was, as far as junior high contract, we were told that we would only have one contract because of like low numbers, which I totally understand, because like I'm a teacher, I get it. One person can be able to handle 6, 8, 10, 12, a classroom full of 30. My concern and Coach Minnemeyer's concern is the fact that with OHSAA rules, regardless of the amount of players, if you have an injury, if someone would randomly have to go to the bathroom, if we're coaching girls, if some girl has a female issue and has to go to the locker room during the game, they have to be accompanied by a staff member. If you only have one paid coach, and not like high school and it's an away game and there's not a staff member there, if the coach obviously would go with the injured player or whatever the case to the locker room, by OHSA rules, you can get 2 technicals. So that's a concern that we have. Plus the standpoint, and I understand from a number standpoint, one coach can handle it, but what if the coach is sick, or there is just something happens. I feel that it's beneficial if the girls have 2 coaches. Sometimes when you're talking to a kid, they just don't get it, right? And when you're a parent and you tell your kid 100 times and it just doesn't always sink in, and then when someone else says the same exact thing, boom, they just start doing it. So I think that it would be beneficial to consider having 2 coaches for a junior high team. And last, real quick, there was some concern about me coaching both boys and girls JV teams. I just wanted to let you know that last year I coached two teams. I was the head coach of Wellsville Girls, and I coached varsity assistant here at Leetonia. Coach Hine and Coach Minnemeyer have already worked out a schedule where there's really no conflicts. But if there's any concern, I want you guys to ask me. Feel free. I'm an open book. You can invite me to executive session if you want. I'll answer any questions. But I would rather be approached by it than people just assume any potential limitations. So that's all that I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My apologies, Corey. I thought I had you under superintendent's report too.
Oh.
Yes, that's my fault. I'm sorry. That's why I thought.
The only
where I thought we were
clarification
going. I
I
apologize.
can say is our intent is to have later on supplementals or 7th and 8th grade, because combined team,
Yeah.
2 co-coaches, and split a contract. Now, they may not wanna do that, I don't know, I haven't been told different.
We just when we had looked in the master's contract, the CERB through
Right.
CERB, it says 2 contracts. It doesn't specify 7th and 8th grade. And we just want what's best for the kids.
Absolutely.
And, it's
But in this
better.
situation, we have 2 coaches for the one team, but they're splitting a contract. Just like we have one boys coach because we only have one team. And if there was someone else, but there isn't, he just
Sure, I think the only, if I may,
Yeah.
the only, issue that he would be bringing up about that is that the junior high contract is it's just a low amount, which I totally get because it's a junior high thing, but it's hard to even bring coaches in for what that pays, let alone 2 coaches in for what one of those position pays, which I get.
And agree, it's negotiated, it is where we are right now,
Sure.
those are things you can't change in middle of a contract year, but
Sure.
certainly listen to concerns.
Now, you said you had 12 girls? Is that at the varsity level?
So
High school in
that's
general.
just the
High
high
school,
school in
that's-
general, yeah.
And the junior high?
We've had 6 showing up, but they haven't had anything formal because they don't have a coach yet. So we have optional open gyms right now, and I've had 6 junior high girls consistently coming to the open gyms.
And we ran, we had optional for the last 5 weeks, we had optional weightlifting at 6 o'clock in the morning on Wednesdays. And we had high school girls and junior high girls come into that, and we worked on like strength training, injury prevention, conditioning, but as we get into the season, we're told just no more 6 AM, so we'll be after school.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, and like I said, I apologize, we had you somewhere else, so I wasn't trying to skip over you. All right, Mr. Dunham, Superintendent's report.
Thank you. Good news in the superintendent's report. We have a few individuals here representing the K-6, 7, 12, 8 athletic department and a few other initiatives I'd like to talk about. But Mrs. Dunnigan's here for K-6. It's probably a good time. Tomorrow is the last day of the first 9-week grading period. And any insight, reflection on the first quarter?
Our MAP testing is completed. Everything went very well there. It's the first time that our students took the MAP fluency for the dyslexia testing. It was completed and it shows wonderful data that we'll be sharing with the parents at conferences, so we're very excited about that piece. The 3rd grade testing was completed and students worked very hard. We're going to be discussing attendance incentives for the second 9 weeks. We took a look at our attendance, where we are and how we can improve. So we had a discussion at the staff meeting, and Ryan O'Donnell also came and spoke to my staff on attendance and what we can do to improve attendance at the elementary level. Discipline issues have been down from last year for this 9 weeks, so that's very good news. We will be having a Halloween party parade Tuesday. All of you are invited to come see. We'll be parading. If it rains, we'll be in the gym. And then we will be going down the high school hallways, so the high school kids can see us. They always look forward to that. We are looking to have a Christmas program for the elementary again in December. We have a bear breakfast December 7th or 9th.
I want to say it's the 9th.
Okay. And then we'll be doing a Santa workshop for the students as well so that they can shop for their parents.
It is the 9th. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Fairfield, 712.
It's been a phenomenal 9 weeks, my first 9 weeks with the district and our students. Fantastic group of kids, great group of educators. We too completed MAP testing for the junior high level. I continue to analyze our scheduling needs as I look to maybe make some changes in the upcoming school year. We have an attendance incentive that happens next week. We're having breakfast for any of our students that miss 2 days or less. And that's for any reason. We just generally took students that missed 2 days or less and we're informing them that they are having breakfast on us in the cafeteria. That'll be on Wednesday. Right now we have approximately 100 kids that meet that threshold. Obviously tomorrow's the last day, so that could change a little bit. PBIS drawing at the end of this quarter will be for a $25 Amazon gift card for our students, for kids that earn Bear Bucks or Bear Cards. We have a new textbook series that we ordered and got in for our 7th and 8th grade social studies, and that's a great text, and I think our teachers are receiving that well. Homecoming dance was a success. Our student discipline was also down, and I do have some data for you there. I took our instances from the first 9 weeks of last year and the first 9 weeks of this year and compared them. We had 8 out of school suspensions last year at this time. We have 3 so far this year. We had 11 Saturday schools this year. Last year it was 39. And last year, we had 208 detentions. At this point, we have 104 so far this year. We did add something that we don't have on last year's, and that's the in-school assignment. We've utilized that 10 times this school year in lieu of suspending kids out, so I think it's working out well. It's not something that kids want to be a part of, but I think it's a good tool in lieu of suspensions. Staffing's being analyzed as I work through this first school year to see what my needs are for next year. We did hold College Credit Plus and Financial Aid Night in collaboration with Crestview. I will say I'm disappointed in the number of students that took advantage of that, the CCP informational night. We only had 1 or 2 kids show up. So that's kind of disheartening a little bit. And we had 2 great pep rallies this year for our fall sports. That doesn't include the fantastic bonfire that we had as well too. We brought our kids from the Career Center back to participate in those. One was outside of the stadium, one was inside for homecoming, and I thought our kids really showed school spirit. And athletically, I think Mr. Mardig will talk about athletics, but I think our programs are improving, our kids are getting into it, so that's great. ICE is up and running, and my first round of OTES observations of my teaching staff is about 60% complete. I've been into 60% of my teachers' classrooms for a full formal observation, and then I've done walkthroughs on every teacher in the building so far, so that's all I have.
Appreciate it, thank you. Mr. Marty, our athletic director.
Good evening. Real just touch base on a couple of events. Guy Costello Benefit Dinner. All of you have information on that in your packets. It's November 5th from 1 to 5. And we ask you to come. If you can volunteer and help out that night, please let us know. The banquet is November 9th here at the school to honor all fall sports athletes. I'm working with Coach Aldermore with the Spaghetti Bowl Spaghetti Dinner, so we don't have any details yet because they're in playoffs and we wait till everybody's completely finished with the season to schedule those things. Football, it was a rough year, but you saw a lot of progress in the kids. Their attitudes and the culture on the field has really improved and changed, and it's really going in the right direction, I think. Biggest thing, increased participation numbers, and that's really with all the sports, trying to get kids to come out and be a part of the program. The more kids we have involved, the better the culture is. So, that's a big point of emphasis the rest of this year and then going into next year. Varsity, we had 32 boys. Junior high, we had 15. I think towards the end of the year, we kind of added a few going into the end of the year. League voting, we don't have anything. They do that tonight. So once I get word, I'll let everybody know as far as football goes. Golf, lots of improvement throughout the year. Coach Burns did a great job. There were 6 boys who golfed and 2 girls. The highlight of their year was they beat their rival United 3 times throughout the season. League honors, Evan Roscoe and Carter Bondi both received EOAC honorable mentions. Volleyball, again, tough year, but the girls played hard and you could see improvement in everybody, which was really, really nice to see. Varsity, we had 16 girls. Junior high was rough. We had 8, 9, and a couple of them were hurt for the bulk of the year, and it left us basically playing a game with 6, 7 girls every game. So it was tough, but they got through it. They did a nice job. They fought every match, which was nice to see. League honors, Alexis Solomon Hansen, EOAC second team. Kayla Kaminsky is honorable mention, EOAC. All district honors, Alexis Solomon Hansen is all district honorable mention. She was selected to play in the district senior classic at Beaver Local on November 12th. If I get more details, I'll let you know. She has to decide whether or not she's going to play in the game. Once I get confirmation, then I'll let everybody know. Kayla Kaminsky will play in the YSN All-Star Game on November 5th at Westminster College in New Wilmington, Pennsylvania. So we got a couple girls got highlighted, which was really nice to see. With a tough season that they played. Going into winter sports, boys basketball, they say they have about 22 kids coming to, optional workouts right now, shooting and stuff. So that's a really good number for them. Junior high, I think he's kind of anticipating 8 to 10 kids. It's a really low number, so we'll probably have to be a combined one team again. Junior high girls are the same way. And then varsity, JV varsity, 12 kids, you're really limited number-wise in what you can do. So we'll play as much JV as humanly possible. If they're full games, they're full games. If they're half, 2 quarters, and depending on how we go through the year and injuries and stuff like that, we'll have to make some decisions. Scheduling adjustments, we went through a real battle here in the fall, and we really need to clean some stuff up with that. Need to make some decisions earlier. In basketball, same thing right now. Knowing that we're only going to have one junior high team for both boys and girls, we're scheduling a lot of double headers, so girls will play first, followed by the boys, or we'll try to play triple headers on the varsity night, so the girls will play at 5, junior high boys and girls will play at 5, followed by JV and varsity. Basically condense it so there's more kids and more people here to watch them play, really, because if it's just 6 or 8 people, by the time you open the gym and let them play a game and close it, it's tough for them. Nobody's here to watch them, so we'll try to do as much combining as we can. We will look to do a meet the bears. Talk to the coaches and find out what dates are good. We're finalizing some scrimmage dates now, so once we have all that stuff in place, we'll schedule team photos and we'll schedule the meet the bears night.
Questions? Thanks, Joe. Just to continue with the athletic side of things, in your packet under student achievement, for the minutes, for board minutes, you see the volleyball honors. There's one additional one. It's a football school record for single season tackle record with a total of 106 tackles. That was set by Cameron Roller last Friday night. And once the EOAC votes tonight, in November for the board minutes again, I'll have any postseason honors in November for the board to approve and have in the archives and in minutes for future reference. A couple other small things. Believe in Dreams Community Partner Dream, and I think if I had to have a job, this would be it. The Dream Fulfillment Supervisor. Dream Fulfillment Supervisor. It's a great title, and it's a real position, and her name is Kristen Sklodowski from Columbiana. She does a wonderful job. Kristen is involved in helping trauma, students have had trauma, hardships, kids get nominated, and every kid has a dream, right? Every kid has something that they want in their life. We had a second grader that was nominated, and of course he won, and his dream was to have a PlayStation. He wanted to go on to NASA on a trip, and he's going, and an electric bike. And Kristen called to say that those dreams do come true, and we've been able to do that, or dreams come true, the community partnership, where this young man is going to have a PlayStation, a NASA trip, an electric bike. So his dream was fulfilled. We also were the recipient of a $1,500 grant from the Believe in Dreams Foundation, and that's to be spent on our PBIS program. So PBIS is Positive Behavioral Interventions and Supports, and this year, for the second or third year now, we were bronze in K6 and bronze in 712. This came out on September 28th. I know I'd put it in the board packet from Director Michelle Moore, State Support Team Region 5. So congratulations to the K6 to 712 for the PBIS bronze status. But again, Believe in Dreams, Dream Fulfillment Supervisor, if they're looking for help, I'd be happy to do that, because what a satisfying job when you can help kids achieve those dreams. So, great organization.
Is that a national organization or what?
I can't say that it is, but she's based out of Ohio. Locally, she's here, but she's in Cleveland too. But I can find out more. But we had a Zoom meeting with her, and she's been really helpful to our kids.
Wonderful.
Really helpful. Veterans Day, just around the corner, Friday, November 10th. We have a Veterans Day assembly here. Coach Scott Fredericks will be our guest speaker. Of course, he's a United States Army retiree. Slideshow of veterans. We have a student reading. We have a Leetonia High School band playing. And of course, we'll be recognizing local veterans that would like to attend the assembly, plus there's a breakfast prior to the assembly. And I believe that starts at 9 a.m. Does that sound right, folks? Yeah, 9 o'clock, Friday the 10th. So just around the corner. Just wanted to mention that as well. Questions for me? Anything I can answer before we go into agenda items? If I may, 7 new business and personnel, A through H. Part-time front door assistant. As you know, we had a resignation last month, asking the board to approve Alicia Eller Wolf as the part-time front door assistant for 23-24 school year, and that would be retroactive to from October 2nd. We have several other resignations. Food service resignation, accept the resignation of Nancy Coleman, who's a part-time cook, effective October 4th. Long-term sub-resignation, accept the resignation of Anders Paul Putness, long-term science substitute, effective today, Wednesday, October 25th. Freshman class advisor resignation, accept the resignation of Gretchen Hall as freshman class advisor, effective October 25th. We have a contract modification, which is E. Approve the contract modification of Alicia Hancock from a 3-hour to a 3.5-hour cook, and this is a result of some of the resignations of food service to move some people around. And also unpaid leave, approve Melissa Brock's 5 days of unpaid leave in November 16th and 17th, and then April 3, 4, and 5 of 24. G, unpaid medical leave of absence for Martha Rosenberg. Approve an unpaid medical leave of absence for Martha Rosenberg for 23-24 school year. Martha is a part-time cook for us, cafeteria food service employee. And lastly, part-time fiscal assistant, approve Rita Mint as a part-time fiscal assistant for 23-24 school year at a rate of $25 an hour.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion?
Dennis, are we fully staffed in the cafeteria at this point?
We're getting back to where we need to be. We had the resignations.
Yeah.
We had interview on Friday, and we're just not set to come to the board with that person, but I think we're getting back to where we were now, because I just mentioned 2 that resigned.
Right, and I just wondered if, we're a little low right now
Yeah.
in personnel there.
Yep, and it's, you can see if you go by the school, it's being posted, it's on Facebook, it's on the website, but I think we're getting closer to it.
Okay,
Yeah.
good, thank you.
And G, that should be, the unpaid should not be there. She's doing a combination of paid sick leave and unpaid
Thank
sick
you,
leave.
Jen.
So that's, sorry, just need to.
that again, please?
In G, it should just be a medical leave of absence. She's doing a combination of paid leave with sick leave, but she's gonna run out, so she'll have unpaid leave as well.
So it's approving a medical leave of absence.
Yes, yes.
Further discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Duco?
Yes.
Mr. Votak?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Mrs. Nettleton?
Yes.
Mrs. Merritt?
Yes.
Couple of standalone resolutions or substitutes. Approve the following subs for the 23-24 school year pending all background and certifications: Jill Leininger Clunan, Tanya Kellison, John Bryan, and Shannon Magmore, certified and classified subs. And Shannon is retroactive, effective 10/6, and she would be food service as well.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Duco?
Yes.
Mrs. Heddleston?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Mr. Votak?
Yes.
Mrs. Merritt?
Yes.
9A, new business under students, transportation contracts. This is in lieu of or in practicality, where we have students attending private or parochial schools. It's impractical for us to transport, so they are paid for their transportation. Approve the following transportation contracts for 23-24. We have 5: Jennifer Kundravi, Heartland Christian; Melissa Boyd, Heartland Christian; Sarah Brown, Heartland Christian; Rachel Midcap, Heartland Christian; and Alicia LeBrake, St. Paul's.
Motion.
Second? Discussion?
Dennis, are these open enrollment out students?
No,
No.
they're not.
No,
because
they're not
it's
even
per-
counted
private.
as part of our population because they attend non-public schools.
So, but
We
I'm
provide their
confused.
transportation.
Would they be going to school at Leetonia if they chose? Would we
Yes.
have to take
Yes.
them?
Yes.
Yes.
So,
They
so
are
they're just
residents.
not technically open enrollment.
They're residents of the district.
Mhm.
And we provide their transportation.
Because we have
Yes.
to.
No, I understand.
Mhm.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yep.
But- So we don't have to do that for anyone going to a public school, open enrollment out?
That's correct.
That's the
That's the
difference. Okay, I
difference.
wondered why okay, all right, thank you.
Further discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Duca?
Yes.
Mrs. Merritt?
Yes.
Mrs. Huddleston?
Yes.
Mr. Votak?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
And last standalone, new business use of facilities, the ICE program is requesting to hold a trick or treat. It's a great thing, it's Monday, October 30th, in the high school hallway. One of the programs that our ICE kids have come up with and would like to do that. We just need a board approval for that on the 30th.
Motion?
Second.
Discussion?
Oh, do we know the time on this?
Mr. Fairfield?
6 to 7.
6 to 7, thank you.
And could I just add, I'm sorry,
That's okay.
last evening, I attended one of their sessions. I am really impressed with what's going on there. I think they have a real good start to that program.
Good.
I really do. All
Good to
the-
hear, we agree.
Yes, well, I just wanna say, it's
Yeah.
impressive.
Say it out loud. Yep.
Yes.
Roll call?
Mr. Duca?
Yes.
Mrs. Huddleston?
Yes.
Mr. Votak?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Mrs. Merritt?
Yes.
11A, new business and operations, 11A through D. Second and final reading of policies. Our first reading was last month, September 25th, of the board policy through Neola. The recommended action is to approve the second and final reading. Columbia County Counseling Center, House Bill 123, approve an MOU with the Columbia County Mental Health Clinic doing business as the Counseling Center and Leetonia Exempted School District regarding the SPEAK program in House Bill 123. They'll be coming in and providing in service to our staff and to our kids grades 6 through 12. And then MOU, School Resource Officer, approve the attached MOU between the Leetonia Exempted Village School District and the Village of Leetonia regarding school SRO for 23-24. I believe there's about a 2,000 and change difference or increase from year to date in that. And then lastly, the sports medicine services as we go into winter sports. We had through DRARE therapy, we had Chris Fadides last fall. I don't believe with all the games we have 44 basketball games if you're looking at high school. Approve the Village of Leetonia EMS to provide sports medicine services at our winter sports for 23-24 school year. So they'll be in the building during our events at $130 per event.
Motion?
Second.
Discussion?
How do we account for the SRO's time? Who's like in charge of making sure that they're working 40 or they're working 45 or they work 32 since
Well-
we get billed based on those hours?
Certainly, he's here from bell to bell. He's here from 7:15 until 3:30.
If he gets, is it still the way if he gets called out, then is he his first
If he's called out,
priority?
Chief is here.
So
There's
so we get
always
somebody for that
someone here.
$28.
That's correct.
Okay.
Someone is always in the building.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
We're for a number of years, I think all districts, okay, we can cover for 30 minutes, but we're not at that point anymore. No one is. So we always have someone in the building.
Yeah, and they bill us for his time. The village bills us for
Oh,
his
absolutely.
time. Yeah.
That's what the MOU is, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you.
Roll call?
Mr. Duca?
Yes.
Mrs. Huddleston?
Yes.
Mr. Votak?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Mrs. Merritt?
Yes. Executive session pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, section 12122G1, I hereby move that the board adjourn to executive session for the purpose of considering the discipline, employment, dismissal, promotion, or compensation of a public employee.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Duca?
Yes.
Mr. Votel?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Mrs. Harrelson?
Yes.
Mrs. Merritt?
Yes.
That's what I, what do you mean, I do that I just found out, or that?
Do we need a motion to return
No.
to open, okay.
Just say open session and
Open
the time.
session,
7:35.
7:35.
Okay, continuing 14, new business supplemental contracts. I ask the board to approve the following supplemental contracts for 23-24 school year pending all backgrounds and certifications. First one is girls 7th and 8th grade basketball co-coaches, married double at step 1, girls 7th and 8th grade, so it's combined one team basketball co-coach, Emma Minnemeyer at step 1, girls assistant basketball coach, Corey Kramer, step 4. And that completes the supplemental contracts for October.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Duca?
Yes.
Mrs. Harrelson?
Yes.
Mr. Henderson?
Yes.
Mr. Votak?
Yes.
Mrs. Meyer?
Yes. Discussion? Any discussion
Okay,
items?
good.
You know, there's 2 monitors that we have out here now. I like them. At the entrances?
Yeah, we have one in the elementary entrance and this one
And, yeah.
Eventually, it'll be tied in, it'll just loop with all of our other announcements. Ryan's working on that, but it's a lot of work. He's done a nice job with it.
Yeah, good idea, very nice.
Thanks.
All right.
Motion to
Adjourn.
adjourn.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank